Hello, my name's Scott. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review.
It's a kind of magic.
In today's review, we're looking at Insight by TCC. This actually is really interesting. My TLDR on Insight is that it's a kind of book test. So it doesn't give you the complete freedom that some book tests give you, but what it lacks in freedom, it gives you in intrigue, I think. So my TLDR is that this is a fun prop, it's an interesting prop, and while it doesn't do anything groundbreaking, it does offer everyone the opportunity to perform a book test in a slightly different way than anyone else is doing it. And that pretty much sums up my TLDR. I think it's a fun, interesting prop that generates good results. And before we move into the full review of Insight, I would like to remind you that TCC did send this to me, but as with all of my reviews, I am under no obligation to say anything complimentary. As with every review I do, it's my honest opinion on the product, my honest thoughts on what I think about it. And while we're here, if you want to purchase Insight after this review or any other product from TCC, you can get an additional 15% off your order by using discount code EverythingMagicPro. If you enter that at checkout on TCC, the discount will be applied to the total of your order, and it is an affiliate code, so you purchasing with my discount code does send a little bit of money to me. It does help the channel, and it helps me provide more reviews. But what is Insight? As I mentioned in the TLDR, this is a sort of a book test. What you're actually doing here is having a specific word thought of with a coin. And I'll put a little bit of footage up on the screen of kind of what it is and what it does. But the routine is that you have a book or you have some books and you have this coin. You create whatever story you want around that. And in the coin, there is a hole. And through this hole, you're going to randomly select, or your spectator is going to randomly select a word. So you take the coin, you place it down on the book, they can move it around wherever they want on the page, and wherever they stop, you look through the hole and you can see a word in there, and that's the word, and then you take the coin away and that's it. And then you can reveal the one word that they're thinking of or the one word that they've written down or anything like that. So that's what Insight is. What do you get when you purchase Insight? Inside the box is a coin, but it comes in 3 pieces. It's very easy to put together. I can't show you it, unfortunately, because it does completely give away the method of how it works. So I guess you'll just have to trust me on that. It's an interesting method, and I'm going to talk about some of the tips with this later on in the review, so do stick with it. You also receive approximately 9 minutes of instructions. The instructions are thorough. They take you through everything you need to know. It takes you through about how to set up the coin. It tells you how to change the word if you want to change it to a different word that you're going to randomly choose. And that is what you receive when you purchase Insight from TCC. How easy is it to perform? Very easy. It's mostly done by the coin. The coin does all of the work for you. You have to do a tiny bit of preparation that is very simple. And then you can kind of take any book, but it would be recommended to have a selection of books because you'll need all of the paper to look the same. And also you will need the font to look the same as the word that your spectator is going to find, which I will touch on a little bit later as well. But right now we're on how easy is it, and it's really easy to perform. You move the coin around, or you get the spectator to move the coin around, and then when you take your hand off of it, or they take their hand off of it, then they just look at the words that's showing through the hole, and that's how simple it is. And then you take the coin away. That's it. There's no there's no memory work, there's nothing else that you need to do. So it's a very easy trick to perform for beginners upwards. Reset time is instant. The only thing that does require a little bit of reset time is if you want to change the word that the spectator is going to choose. The one that you're going to reveal by magic or mind reading, that will take a bit of time, a few minutes or so. It depends what kind of paper you're using, it depends what kind of book you're using, and it depends on whether you have glue and scissors around. You don't necessarily need to use scissors. You could just tear it with your hand. If you're at a gig and you forget to prep it or something like that, you probably could prep it on the fly if you had something sticky with you, like a glue stick. You could rip a word out and that would work pretty well, I think. I've not been in a pinch with it, so I can't guarantee it, but I recommend that you try it out if you buy it and you try various ways of setting it up. But once it's set, you can perform it over and over again instantly to different people, to different performances. If you have consecutive shows back to back with different audiences, then you can perform it instantly straight away as people are coming in for the new show. If you have a close-up performance or something like this, and I think I've rambled on enough about reset time. It's really fast. Angles don't exist with this one. There are no angle restrictions. The coin goes down onto the book or onto the magazine or whatever piece of printed material that you're doing it on, or newspaper, anything like this. And there are no angles because they're just going to look through the coin at a word, they'll write it down or something like this, and then the coin goes away. That's it. So all of the things that could be exposed are actually covered on the piece of paper or the material that you're getting the words from. So there are no angle restrictions to this whatsoever. Pocket space is also great. It's just the coin. You don't need anything else. Of course, you do need some books to perform it with, but the trick itself is contained within this coin that you receive. And that means that you could just have some pieces of paper folded up, or you could just have some very thin booklets or something like that. Or if you're performing on stage, you can perform it with a stack of books. It's entirely up to you, but the pocket space in terms of the gimmick that you receive is very small and very pocketable for anywhere you go. And now my final thoughts. There's a few things to talk about here. On the instructions, because they are using Chinese literature, they say that one character in Chinese can mean a word, or it can mean a phrase, or it can even mean a sentence. And they say that in other languages like English, you'll have to stick to smaller words like and or to or things like this, but that isn't quite true. You do have some more flexibility than they give this credit for. So I'll put some footage up on the screen and you'll see the kinds of words that you can fit in this space. And you know, they are 5, maybe 6 letter words. You can't fit long words into it, but in English and I'm sure many other languages, you can fit some small to medium sized words up to 4, 5, 6 characters long. So when you're watching the tutorial, don't be disheartened with that. It does work a little bit better, but you'll need to experiment with whatever language that you're going to perform it in. And you do also need to make sure that when you set the gimmick up with the word that the spectator is going to think of, that the paper that you're setting the gimmick up with matches the same paper that you're going to use when moving the coin around. So, for example, if you're going to perform it with a magazine in a shop, in a more casual setting, then I would recommend you buy 2 of the magazine, and then you can basically perform this for a really long time and interchange the words, and all of the pages will look the same when they look through the poll. If you don't do this and you set it up with a word from another book, then when the coin's being moved around and you look through the poll, the word that's chosen, there will be a discrepancy between that and the words that are written on the pages. So be mindful of that. You may have to buy 2 books, 2 magazines, 2 newspapers, whatever it is that you want to perform this with, so that everything matches perfectly. I think that's about everything. I really like this. I think it's a really cool idea. I have a way of making it make sense, and I'll share that with you now. I like the idea of using the coin and saying that this is the small hole in it is a gateway into another person's thoughts. So that person moves the coin around, they stop, they look through the hole, you're looking away, and then you take the coin away and you point the coin towards them, because then they can see that the hole is right the way through and they can see you through the hole. So you look through the hole at them, at the person who has chosen the word at random. And you can say that the magical coin allows you to look through the hole into their mind, and then you're able to take their thought through the hole and reveal the word that they're thinking of. So I really like that. I think there's so much to be explored with this. I think it's such a fun gimmick. I think it has lots of potential, and I think that you'll probably enjoy performing it. I think that's everything I have to say on Insight by TCC. As I say, my discount code EverythingMagicPro will give you an additional 15% off your entire order at TCC. Thank you to TCC for sending this to me. It's something that's been unexpectedly fun for me. That's the review for today. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions about it, and I'll see you in the next review.